We will look at the Nigeria political parties and their attempts, that is the political parties establishment and their attempts for independence. So here in Nigeria, certain people who received Western education, they wanted to bring the idea of a nationalism and to bring unity among the all the Nigerians who were belonging to different tribes. If once the idea of unity and nationalism develops, then they could start a independence struggle against the British colonial rule. So the educated intellectuals of Nigeria, they felt it is their responsibility to build unity to form Nigerian nation. Okay, so for this cause, there several political parties were established. It is Herbert Macaulay. He was the founder of Nigerian National Democratic Party in 1923. It was the first political party established in Nigeria by Herbert Macaulay in 1923. This party, which was founded by Herbert Macaulay in 1923 elections and 1928 elections and 33 elections. In three elections, this party had swept all the seats. Understand? And this Macaulay, who was the founder of NNDP, also supported military attacks on the British colonial government. What is meant by military attacks? Nigerian people attacking on the British officials, that also encouraged by the Macaulay, which is called militant attacks. People of Nigeria will people of Nigeria taken the arms and attacked on British government. Understand, that is the what militant attacks. Again, in 1936, one more party was founded by Namdi Azikiwe. Namdi Azikiwe. He was a Namdi Azikiwe. He was the founder of Nigerian Youth Movement, NYM in short. Understand? He was the leader of Nigerian nationalism, and he supported Nigerian nationalism that is based on Pan Africanism. That means Nigerian nationalism was moved on the ideology of Pan Africanism. Pan Africanism is an ideology which unites all the African people with irrespective of their tribe and country. In African continent, there are several countries. In every country, there are many different ethnics and tribes. So all these tribes of different countries should be united and fight for their resources should be used for the development of African people. So it is an ideology. Pan Africanism is an ideology to bring unity among all African people, irrespective of their nation and their tribe, against the colonial rule. Understand? And they want to bring equality, social justice, and dignity of the human beings under Pan Africanism. So, Nigerian nationalism is based on the ideology of Pan Africanism. It was supported by what you call Namdi Azikiwe. Instead, he was the founder of a Nigerian national Nigerian youth movement. Understand? Nigerian youth movement. Understand? And one of the main person in building the Pan-Africanism was Kwame Nkrumah, who was a key person in building the water this ideology. He belongs to what to call Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah, also there, very important leader. He belongs to the Ghana. Understand? Here you can see in the figure many of the Africans people, irrespective of their caste, that is their ethnicity. Their ethnicity means their tribe. Uh, what to call? They united by the various political parties set up there. Understand? So very immediately what happened, this Nigerian youth movement become very popular. Understand? It turned to very powerful political movement in Nigeria. Understand? So by 1944, Macaulay, Herbert Macaulay, who was the founder of NNDP, and this NYM, Nigerian Youth Movement leader, that is Namdi Azikiwe. Understand? They united their political parties and founded a common political party for all Nigerians, that is National Council for Nigeria and the Cameroons. In short, Chapaliante NCNC. Instant. This is a political party founded by merging of NYM and what you call NNDP. Instant. That is NNDP and NYM. These political parties were united with the initiation of Macaulay and Azikiwe, and they created a common political party for all Nigerians, that is the National Council for Nigeria and the Cameroons instant. So this, in this political party, Azikiwe, Namdi Azikiwe became very dominant leader. He supported what to call Pan-Africanism and Pan-Nigerianism. With these are the two ideologies based for building national movement. They want to build a national movement. So to build a national movement, Namdi Azikiwe used the two ideologies, Pan-Africanism, Pan-Nigerianism. Pan-Africanism and ideology of uniting all the Africans, right? Pan-Nigerianism is the ideology to unite all the Nigerians, irrespective of their diversified tribes. Instead, so this Nigerian nationalism become very popular. It was the Second World War period, which began in 1939 and continuing in 1944. So during this time, the Nigerian economy was worst hit by the Second World War period. Understand? There, what to call these Nigerian economy was hit by the what to call Second World War. Understand? So it was difficult times for Nigerian economy. Understand? So at these difficult times, their radical nationalism developed. What is by radical nationalism? In which they create violence. After the end of the Second World War, their radical nationalism was developed in Nigeria. Understand? That is what to call in radical nationalism, their Nigerian soldiers and trade union leaders, they were very active. Understand? These soldiers who participated in the Second World War on the side of the Britain, They played very important role in developing the radical nationalism in Nigeria. Understand? And these soldiers and trade unions, they organized general strikes, national general strikes in Nigeria by 1945. Understand? So many national general strikes were organized to show that their unity towards independence of Nigeria. Understand? So it organized by 1945. You could see the pictures. There are the figures. They were showing a protest in the rally. The general strike was organized. Many millions of people, many millions of Nigerians were on the road in taking part in the general strike organized in 1945. Understand? So here we see that Nigerians under NCNC, National Council of Nigeria and Cameroons, NCNC. Under NCNC, this they kept two programs. One is fighting with the British to end the colonial rule. And to end the colonial rule, it is very essential to bring unity in diversified groups, diversified ethnicities which were conflicting with one to another. They are the two programs carried by Nigerians with pan Nigerian pan Nigerian uh, ideology and pan Africanism. Understand? So here with this we see that there the nationalism developed in the southern part of the Nigeria was stronger than the northern part. Understand? Because we already discussed the southern part of Nigeria was first developed by the Britishers. When Britishers established their colonial rule, they started their colonial rule and administration trade from the south, from the Lagos, a port center, right? Christian missionaries were established in the south only. So the national movement was strong in what to call southern part of the Nigeria, understand? Whereas in the north part it was very it was not strong, understand? Like southern part of Nigeria, understand? So this created the difference between north and south, understand? That it created a divide, a division, that created a division between two regions, that is the north region of Nigeria and south region of what to call Nigeria, understand? In the south also we see that there were ethnic conflicts, especially in two important tribes, that is Yoruba and Igbos, right? In Yoruba and Igbos, they were not united. They had ethnic conflicts. Ethnic conflicts means their tribe, Yoruba tribe and Igbo, they were fighting with each other. That is called ethnic conflict. So there was strong ethnic conflict between Yoruba and Igbo in the south, though the national movement was strong there, understand? So by 1950s, after the end of the Second World War, we see here these three regions had set up their own political parties. What do you see in this figure? Here two ethnic groups, that is Yoruba and Igbo, they were fighting. Look at this figure. There two tribes entered into a war, that is ethnic conflict, understand? So due to ethnic conflict they did not unite to resist the British colonial rule. So as they had ethnic conflicts, by 1950 these three regions had developed their own political parties in the three regions. in order to fight against the British colonial rule. There, by 1950, three regions, north, southeast, and southwest, right? In these three regions, three political parties were founded separately and started their independent struggle individually in the three regions with the establishment of three political parties instead. That is, in the north, NPC was founded, which is the Northern People's Congress, and in the east, that is southeast, National Council for Nigeria and the Cameroons, that in short NCNC. This is in the southeast, that is where Ibu tribe is there, and in the southwest it is Action Group. These are the three political parties founded separately in three regions and continued their freedom struggle against the British rule instead. So after this independence struggle by these three political parties, the British, which would turn to weak in the Second World War, right? We discussed that after the Second World War, several nations have uh, carried out their freedom struggles very strong. So in 1950s, we studied that several nations have got independence. India got independence by 1947. So Britishers were unable to keep their colonies for long period under their control and decided to give independence and shift power to the colonial people after the strong nationalism in Nigeria. There was a strong nationalist feelings in Nigeria, so Britishers decided to hand over the power, that is, declare independence to the Nigeria. So independence was declared to the Nigeria by 1st October 1963. In 1st October 1963, Nigeria turned to independent nation. But this independency in Nigeria did not run for long period, because after independence, the Nigerians have established a federal system of democracy, a federal system consisting of three regions. In this figure, you'll see that Britishers transferring Britishers transforming the transferring the power from British government to the Nigerians instead. So here they developed three autonomous bodies. In the north, for Hausa Fulani, one autonomous body, right? Similarly, in the southeast for Ibu and for southwest Yoruba, they founded their own autonomous bodies. All these autonomous bodies will work under federal system of a democracy. So this complex federal system of democracy did not run long period and turned to civil war. Understand? So civil war started there, as the democracy was not proper. Understand? So here we see that as civil war started, the people fought each other, especially there the north region of Nigeria tried to establish their domination in entire Nigeria. Understand? The civil war which started in Nigeria is called Biafran War. This Biafran War started from July 1967 to 1970. Instead, this is the what is civil war. What you call started in Nigeria. When civil war was going on, there the military rule instead, the what you call the army, this is what army, they captured the power from the what you call federal democratic system, which was established after 1st October 1963. So this we see in this way we see that Nigeria slipped into the military rule. Understand? There the people were, see the figures, the people were fighting in the civil war. So the civil war became one advantage for the army to capture power. So very soon we see that military rule was established in Nigeria. Understand? So this was the what to call result of the civil war which broke out in Nigeria, my dear students. Understand? So the military rule started here. Then in 1950s in Nigeria, what to call they discovered oil. Up to 1950s, they did not know that Nigeria was famous for oil. In 1950s, in Nigeria, they discovered oil, and that was a very important resource today, right? Petroleum, which discovered in 1950s instead. So when in 1950s, when oil was discovered, many of the multinational companies under Dutch Shell Company instead, under Dutch Shell Company, they what to call established their control on oil wells instead. Look at this figure, my dear students. This is what a Nigerian delta. Understand? Look at this one. I'll show you. This is the what a Nigerian delta. Understand? So in this Nigerian delta, they discovered oil, many oil wells. Understand? By the river Niger. Understand? This is called as the river Niger is going like this. So nearby this is called a Nigerian delta, Niger delta. So nearby Niger delta in Nigeria, oil was discovered. Understand? Oil was discovered in 1950s when Nigeria did not get independence. Still, it was under the British period. At that time only, there the oil was discovered. So as oil was discovered, immediately the British hand over the oil wells to the multinational companies under the Dutch Shell Company. Understand? This is the what Dutch Shell Company, my dear student, the logo of the Dutch Shell Company. So this company, what to call, turn to the leader of controlling oil wells. Under this company, many multinational companies got rights for drilling the oil instead of taking the what extracting the oil. Multinational companies belongs to Europe, and they were working under Dutch Shell Company. So most of these oil wells were owned by the multinational corporations. They extracted oil and shared the profit between military rulers. The what you call the very important resource of Nigeria is oil. So oil was extracted from oil wells by multinational companies, and these multinational companies extracted oil much more. By selling the oil, whatever the profit they got, that they shared with the military rulers. That means military rulers turn to corrupted rulers instead. So because of this military rule, we see that two problems they faced in Nigeria. Understand? That is what you call corruption, what you call started. Okay, military rule was corrupted because the rulers in the military rule, they joined hands with the MNCs which were extracting oil much more without uh, proper program, without taking the steps to what to call leakage of the oil. They have gone for extracting a much more oil instead. So that is what corruption. The military rule was joined hands with the multinational companies. Actually, by selling the oil, whatever the profit comes, that should be used for development of the Nigerian people. Nigerian people did not get any share. Actually, the resource, that is oil wells, uh, or the resources of the Nigeria, in the sense Nigerian people. So by selling the oil, whatever the income earned, it should be used for the development and fulfill the needs of the Nigerians, right? So Nigerians did not get any benefit by the resources which were exploited by the corrupted rulers and multinational companies. And whoever asked this one that the corruption is going on and the resources of the Nigerian should be used for Nigerians, they were suppressed. So the military rule was corrupted and it has gone for suppressing the human rights. No, there was no question against the military rule. So many times the people they struggle to bring the democratic government, but all those were failed again and again instead. So for a long period, that is from 1950s, from sorry 1960, what to call 63, after getting independence, 1960, there is 1965 too. We can say that from 1965 to what to call 1999. For a long period, Nigeria was under military rule. Understand? After the long period of the military rule, and due to the intensified nationalistic movement, there the Nigerians elected a democratic government in 1999. Understand? So by 1999, there a government was established in Nigeria. There's a democratic government, and this democratic government still facing the trouble by the European powers. Understand? Most of the oil wells still today are under the control of the European multinational companies. These multinational companies from Europe till today extracting oil much more without proper what to call steps, without taking the steps of oil leakage. Understand? So here we see that the multinational companies have gone for what drilling oil in a manner that destroyed the ecosystems. Understand? We see here the profit earned by selling the oil was shared between military rulers and these multinational companies instead. And here that the common people did not get any benefit. They are the common people, Nigerian people. They did not get any benefit from the selling of the oil. So there was a reckless extraction of oil. Reckless in the sense that they did not take any careful steps. They did not think that how environment is needed. They what to call neglected the local environment. In such a way, foreign companies have extracted oil. So as they neglected the environment, that created destruction to the local environment. Understand? Look at the figure, my dear students. Here there is a oil spill age, the water bodies, water tanks in the Nigeria filled with oil. What do you see in this figure? Oil is there. There is a layer on the water, right? So oil spillage, and somewhere the oil is spread into the air also. Understand? And your mangrove forest, which is nearby the what to call a Niger Delta, that was very sensitive, and due to the oil leakage, most of the mangrove forest was destroyed by the leakage of oil. Understand? That led to destruction of the ecosystems. Understand? So here the oil spread nearby the Niger Delta. Understand? You could see that it become a major problem on the ecosystems of the Nigeria. Look at this. Much of the water is covered with a layer of oil, right? And here you see that the water body is covered with oil instead, and the large tracts of the mangrove forest was destroyed here in this figure, right? There was a 5 to 10 percentage of the Nigerian mangrove forest was completely wiped out by the leakage of oil. Understand? Here the people are clearing the water oil. So in the clearing of the oil, the mangrove forest, which is very sensitive, that also destroyed. So ecosystems were damaged. Understand? there was oil contaminated with the groundwater and soil. Soil also contaminated with oil, so they were not able to cultivate the crops. Instead, water also, groundwater also contaminated with what to call this oil. So as a result, what happened? Millions of the crops were destroyed, and the fish, that is aquaculture, fish also died due to the leakage of oil. The oil spread into the air. So completely there was a damage of ecosystems there. Understand? People who take drinking water from the local water bodies, which also contaminated with oil. Understand? So that was a long what to call long years of that health damages on the people. Understand? You can see that a sheen of oil in the sense a layer. See, dear students, here it is. You can see that a layer. Understand? A layer is formed on what you call water bodies. Right here is, you see that a sheen, that is called sheen of oil. We can find on water bodies. Understand? So in this way we see that the total ecosystem was damaged. So there was a loss of the ecosystem environment in Nigeria. So people struggled and they demanded there should be compensation for the damaging of their local environment and also destruction of the oil wells. Much of the profit which comes from the selling of oil was not used for the people. So people demanded that there should be compensation. So here one active person played very important role, that is Kwame Nkrumah. Understand? We see that Ken Saro Viva. Ken Saro Viva was an environmentalist, uh, and he brought that there was oil spillage and contaminated water bodies by oil. So much of the ecosystem was damaged in Nigeria by the multinational companies belonging to the Europe. Understand? So this was highlighted by the Ken Saro Viva. Understand? In the long run, this contaminated oil had effect on health. That is, people suffered with the cancer. Understand? So people finally they raised a popular struggle against the ecosystems damages and the Nigerian Delta destruction. Understand? They united under the environmentalist, that is Ken Saro Viva. Understand? So various ethnic groups they began that they should be given compensation for damaging their ecosystems, and also demanded that they should get rights over oil resources belonging to their nation. Actually, Nigerian people should get a command and ownership rights on the oil resources which were under the multinational companies belonging to Europe. So there many activists were many programs were organized by the what to call various organizations. Especially we see that one human rights activist, that is Ken Saro Viva, fought against this one, was executed by the military government. The military government hunted the water Ken Saro Viva. He was the what to call environmentalist, my dear students. Ken Saro Viva. He was a famous environmentalist uh, and human activist who fought against what to call it, multinational companies for the destruction of the ecosystems in Nigeria, who was executed by the British government. Understand? So this turned to an international, after his execution, the protest turned to international protest. It spread throughout the world. Understand? So till today we see that Nigeria is making to turn to a nation and to have a stable democratic system. Finally, in 1999, a democratic was established there, but that was not successful. Several times, the democratic governments which were established in Nigeria were falling down. So there's a challenge till today to the Nigeria to get control on the oil resources which were under their control, which were under the European controls. Understand? So in this way, the Nigeria is still facing trouble by the European multinational companies which are controlling the oil wells. This is what to call